I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna hurt David Morrell as much as possible. More than anybody's ever hurt him and more than anybody will hurt. He's never gonna forget David Benavidez after this fight.
Whoa!
I'm gonna beat the shit out.
This is my foot, not enough.
The rivalry between David Benavidez and David Morrell has been building for some time, and it's now reaching a boiling point. What began with them tossing belts at each other has quickly escalated into a war of words. What started as a potential matchup between two elite light heavyweights has now turned into a battle of pride, respect, and personal animosity. It looks like we might finally get the fight we've been waiting for this weekend.
David's going to give him a beating, man. To be honest with you, I think David, is going to stop him maybe like in the 9-10 round. Maybe if he would have just hold on a little bit more like about a year or two. He's a dangerous fighter, though. We're not underestimating him. David's training super hard.
Benavidez and Morrell are two of the most talented fighters in boxing right now, both making their way up the ranks. Now, they're on a collision course. It's not just the championship titles that are driving them, it's the personal animosity that has transformed this fight into one of the most highly anticipated matchups in recent boxing history. Their verbal sparring has been escalating for a while, with insults and accusations flying back and forth. Their bitter feud reached a boiling point when they recently faced off ahead of their February 1st clash. The tension was palpable, thick enough to cut with a knife. Morrell, known for his powerful punches, kept his composure, but Benavidez came out swinging, both with words and threats. For Morrell, this fight is deeply personal. So many people have been talking on social media, saying that I don't respect Jose Benavidez Sr. or him, Morrell said. His words were sharp, direct, and laced with the kind of frustration that only builds up over time. He wasn't just addressing Benavidez anymore, he was speaking out against the disrespect aimed at him for months. I didn't say anything to Benavidez Sr. at the California press conference in December. I see him, and he's talking nonsense. I told him, hey, I'm not the one trash-talking you. Morrell made it clear, he wasn't the one starting the trash talk, he was simply responding to what had been said about him.
I'm not comparing it to this fight, but it's like the better be of Bivol fight. You can say who you think is going to win. You can't say like, oh man, I'm surprised that Bivol won, or I'm surprised that Better Be of won. You're like, man, that's a damn good fight. So-and-so won. So kind of how I feel about the David and Canelo.
But it wasn't just about words anymore, it was about defending his name and his honor. Benavidez didn't hold back when it was his turn to speak. I don't care, you disrespected my family, he shot back, his voice filled with conviction. I'm kicking your ass on February 1st. That was the moment when the true stakes of the fight became clear for everyone to see. It wasn't just about the championship, and it wasn't just a fight in the ring, it was personal. The insults and threats had crossed the line, and now both men were determined to settle the score.
Everybody say they have the boogeyman, like I want to fight the best division is him. So, after me, everybody, it's him, It's simple.
I want to fight the people that they have confidence in themselves, that they think they're gonna go in there and knock me out, that they say that I haven't fought somebody like him.
Morrell wasn't about to back down, though. He had a point to make. I've tried to let David Benavidez know what's up for a long time, he said, his tone confident but laced with anger. If they don't want to understand it, then that's on them. If they want war, then war is what they're going to get. Right now, it's too late. Morrell's words were a clear warning to Benavidez, the fight was already on, and there was no turning back. Things only escalated when Benavidez's father, Jose Benavidez Sr., got involved. The elder Benavidez had been vocal about his belief that Morrell needed to be taught a lesson. He promised that his son wasn't just training for a win, he was training to hurt Morrell so badly that he would retire after February 1st. The Benavidez camp wasn't just aiming for a victory, they were coming to make a statement to show Morrell that they were the top dogs in the light heavyweight division. That kind of talk only fueled the fire. Benavidez himself, known for his trash-talking as much as his knockout power, took it even further. This is the whole mindset I've been training with this whole camp, he said, referring to his intense preparation. All my opponents say I don't have defense, I'm stiff like RoboCop, this and that. Mark my words, all of them end up in the hospital. That's the same thing I'm going to do to David Morrell. Benavidez wasn't just talking about winning, he was talking about domination. I'm going to beat him, put him in the hospital, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, he continued, his words sharp and biting. There was no ambiguity in what he was saying, he was coming for Morrell, and he wasn't planning on leaving anything to chance.
Disrespect at all. What I took as disrespect is the stuff he was saying, that he was being really disrespectful. But other than this, like, these are the type of fighters I want to fight. I want to fight the...
Morrell, for his part, was less vocal than Benavidez during their virtual face-off, but don't mistake his quiet demeanor for a lack of confidence. The Cuban fighter stayed calm, responding to Benavidez's threats with a coolness that only heightened the tension. "You're the RoboCop," Morrell said, his voice steady. "I'm ready to fight tomorrow. I don't care." Morrell's confidence in his ability to take on Benavidez was undeniable. He wasn't backing down, wasn't intimidated, and was ready to fight no matter what.
Been a lot of like bad blood with this build-up because of what's happened at the press conferences. Like, you as a bystander, what'd you make of what happened in Miami?
I wasn't there though, that's the thing.
Like, Morrell threw the belt at him, David ducked.
I don't know why the belt. That's something you don't do. What if there would have been, someone said he was a kid or something? You don't do that. And that's how you know he's not how he says he is. He walks around like he's from the hood, like he's gangster.
But Benavidez didn't let up. He took every opportunity to take a shot at Morrell, calling him out for his silence during the face-off. He had so much to say before the press conference, Benavidez mocked. "All this talk about me being RoboCop, that he's going to knock me out, that I don't have anything. But now look at him, he's scared. He doesn't have anything to say. What's up with all that? You were talking all that trash before, but now you can't even speak. He's all nervous. What happened to all that confidence?" Benavidez's words were meant to rattle Morrell, and he wasn't done. "After I beat you, I want you to say that too," he added. The gauntlet had been thrown, and Benavidez wasn't backing down from the challenge.
We still got 9 weeks. We won 12 rounds today with these guys animal, man. He did more than that. Animal. Yeah. 12 rounds. We got some more fucking lines right here working, helping me get ready for David Morrell. We don't fuck David Morrell. What is it? The second fight?
Undeterred, Morrell responded coolly, "After the fight, I'll say, let's go to my house, I'll teach you how to box." It was Morrell's way of showing that, despite the insults, he was confident in his ability to walk out victorious. He wasn't intimidated by Benavidez's trash talk and wasn't backing down from the fight. The war of words didn't stop there. Benavidez also accused Morrell of using PEDs to fuel his rise in boxing. "We're on his ass with the V8, Benavidez said, making it clear he wasn't taking any chances with Morrell. "I'm not going to say anything, just look at the track records. I've never been accused of using steroids. He's been accused by a few people of using PEDs. That's all I'm going to say. What we did in this camp is make sure that no sneaky business is going on, and all fighters are being tested."
They say that David Morrell, we're talking about a Betco. They say he was tested the whole camp. David Morrell was not tested, and after the fight, they didn't do no tests, no drug tests, which is kind of odd to me, but I really don't care about that, even if it was on steroids.
Morrell immediately fired back, defending himself against the accusations. "I'm clean," Morrell said firmly. "A lot of people before the fight are always talking about useless stuff. I knocked them out, and after the fight, they're saying I'm doping. Why? It's training. I've sparred with everybody, and nobody has ever said I'm taking PEDs after they fight me. Everyone says they can feel my power." Benavidez wasn't convinced, though. "You make the fighters do V testing and then you don't test V after the fight," he responded. The accusations continued to fly, adding another layer to the growing drama between the two fighters.
An update about how everything has been.
Everything has been going amazing. Training camp has been amazing. We've been working extremely hard. We got a hard fight. So these are the types of fights I want. These are the type of fighters I want to go against, and we had an amazing camp.
Morrell, ever calm, continued to defend himself. "I've been tested 6 times in camp in 2 weeks," he said. "I'm clean. I don't need PEDs." He stood resolute, unwavering in the face of Benavidez's accusations. Finally, Benavidez delivered his parting shot. "I'm going to watch you on the floor, laid out," he said. "That's what I'm going to watch. I know you see me in your nightmares, so I'll see you soon." With that, the war of words came to a dramatic close, but the animosity between these two fighters was far from over.
Brother has way more experience than this guy, way more stronger. I just feel like, it's just a hype. This guy has his hype, and you can see he's scared.
The countdown to their February 1st showdown is on, and the stakes have never been higher. Benavidez and Morrell have made this fight personal, turning it into much more than just a title bout. The tension between them is electric, and the harsh words they've traded have only heightened the anticipation. One thing is clear, when these two step into the ring, it won't just be a fight for the championship. It will be a battle for respect, pride, and legacy, and only one will leave victorious.
I haven't fought somebody like him. At the end of the day, he's never fought nobody like me. And I'm gonna prove everybody that there's levels to this. And I'm not playing when I'm saying I'm gonna break his mouth, because that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
David Benavidez is entering his February 1st showdown against David Morrell with a no-nonsense attitude and a laser-focused goal, to knock out his opponent and assert his dominance. I don't care about his trash talk, Benavidez asserts confidently, showing that Morrell's words and antics won't shake him. I'm ready for February 1st. I'm super focused on one objective, and that's inflicting damage on David Morrell. Benavidez isn't just aiming for a win, he's targeting an emphatic knockout. His words reflect the kind of self-assurance that only comes from years of experience in the ring.
When it comes to Morrell, we've seen, spots of him. But I really know what he brings to the table. And that's why I think this is going to be a tough fight.
Benavidez sees Morrell's bravado as nothing more than fuel for his fire. This is all more fuel to the flame to go in there and do what I have to do. Now I'm really going to put a beating on him, he states, his tone measured but fiery as he gets ready to confront Morrell's perceived disrespect. He believes Morrell is putting on a tough persona that he'll quickly have to back up. This guy is trying to act hard, but it is what it is. On February 1st, none of this matters. I'm going to break his mouth, Benavidez boldly declares, signaling he's prepared to make his opponent pay for his bravado. Benavidez doesn't hold back when discussing his own abilities. I got the experience, I got the belt, and I got everything I need, he reminds, pointing to his wealth of experience in the ring.
Because he has less muscle, he doesn't get tired. Shout out to his stamina. He has crazy stamina, but Morrell's about to fucking knock his lights out, knock his shit loose. And it's gonna be a fucking horrible fucking loss for David Benavidez. He was projecting this for no fucking reason. He told David Morrell, you gonna lose and everybody's gonna forget about you.
For Benavidez, this fight is more than just about skill, it's about a deeper connection to the sport. He believes he's the one truly ready for what's coming. It's good he's got the Cubans with him today, because when he gets knocked out, they're all going to leave him, Benavidez taunts, implying that the support Morrell depends on will crumble under the pressure of a real challenge. He better do what he says he's going to do. We're going to see each other on February 1st. I'm glad he's talking about this being an easy fight. While Benavidez doesn't take Morrell's trash talk lightly, he's also not letting it distract him from his focus. We've been in the gym, and we're working hard. When I get in the ring, I'm going to be 100%. Everyone better get ready, he warns. The message is clear, Morrell's confidence won't be enough to overcome Benavidez's preparation and focus. They all say the same nonsense before they get in the ring with me, then they get in there, and it's a different story, Benavidez states, reminding everyone that no one has lived up to their pre-fight boasts against him in the past. For Benavidez, this isn't just a fight, it's personal. The thing about this is that it's not fake. We don't like each other. We have everything we need for a great fight, he adds, emphasizing the intense animosity between the two. He makes it clear that Morrell isn't just another opponent, this is a bitter rivalry. Nobody is going to stop me. This is my year, and this is the era of David Benavidez, his words assert, suggesting he's not only aiming to beat Morrell, but to establish his legacy as one of the sport's top fighters, and he's determined to do so with authority. On the other hand, David Morrell is approaching the fight with just as much intensity, already fueling the fire with his trash talk. Morrell feels disrespected by the way Benavidez treated him at their first press conference. He didn't respect me at our first press conference, so I'm giving it back to him. This is my time. I don't need to show him any respect, Morrell says, standing firm in his response. If Benavidez won't respect him, Morrell believes he doesn't owe him any in return. For Morrell, this fight isn't just about fighting for a title, it's about proving a point and showing the world that he belongs at the top. I feel great and I'm very excited to be here in Miami because it always feels like home. I can't wait for this moment on February 1st, he continues, already feeling the weight and significance of the upcoming battle. Morrell's confidence is unwavering as he gears up for the fight, determined to show Benavidez that his trash talk won't intimidate him. I'm 100% focused in training camp, and I've got great support from my team and my family down in Texas with me. This is the fight of my life, a win can change everything for me. This is my moment, Morrell says, fully aware of the opportunity ahead. He sees this as the defining moment of his career and is ready to seize it to make his name in the sport. For Morrell, it's not just about the title, it's about much more than that. I'm going to have Cuba on my mind when I enter the ring. I'm fighting for my family and for Cuba. Everything in my career has led to this, he explains, giving the fight a deeper personal meaning.
The main theme right now for this fight is that you're the one that's experienced. He has a deep amateur pedigree, but it's you who has the experience. Do you see that fight like this, or do you just see him just as another opponent?
I mean, I don't really see the amateur as any. I don't see that as, this is not an amateur fight. This is professional. This is a championship fight, 12 rounds. So I mean, he might have an advantage, the first 3 rounds.
Morrell isn't just fighting for himself, he's fighting for his country and his heritage. His loyalty and pride in his Cuban roots are at the forefront of his mind. I have to be aggressive and make sure I make my people proud, showing that Cuba is number one. On February 1st, I'll make sure everyone knows who the real boogeyman is in this division, Morrell says, using the term boogeyman to signal his intent to make a major impact. He's not just another contender, he's the next big thing, and he's ready to prove it. However, Morrell understands the immense pressure that comes with such expectations. While his confidence is unwavering, he's focused on staying grounded. Everyone says things, but I'm trying to stay even-keeled and work on the fundamentals. If I do that, I'll succeed, he says, reminding himself and his fans that while the fiery talk is important, the real work happens in the gym.
I don't want the David versus David fight. I don't think David needs to be giving David an opportunity. David put in the work. The other David needs to go put in some work. And he looked like dog shit in a fight that I thought he lost. I don't care if I'm alone in that fight. I'm good with that.
As the fight nears, all eyes are on these two warriors, and the boxing world remains divided on who will come out on top. Even Canelo Alvarez, a key figure in the division, admits that he's unsure of who will win. It's going to be a good fight, Canelo tells IFL TV, sharing his take on the upcoming showdown. 50-50 fight. His recognition that the outcome is uncertain speaks volumes about how competitive this matchup is. Canelo, who has faced both men, understands the risks for each fighter and acknowledges the unpredictable nature of the contest.
You need to do that with Morrell, but I just want you to be right back here.
Morrell is a different animal.
I want you right back here when David beats the shit out of David. You come right back here.
No, I'll be here when David beat the shit out of David.
Yeah.
About a walking forward David.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sean Porter, a respected former champion, also weighs in on the fight, giving Benavidez the edge, though he acknowledges the challenge Morrell presents. The thing David Benavidez has over Morrell is his experience and true strength, Porter explains. Both of those guys are big, but I think David Benavidez is a more natural 175-pounder. For Porter, the experience factor is key. Benavidez has faced top-tier competition and come out on top, while Morrell has yet to face an opponent with the same level of skill and resistance. Morrell hasn't had resistance at the pro level, Porter adds, emphasizing that Morrell's previous opponents haven't prepared him for the challenge Benavidez will bring.
Morrell has not had resistance. His fight with Hot Rod, that was a different kind of resistance. That was the resistance of somebody staying away from you, you know what I mean? And him not being able to catch up to him. With Benavidez can bang with him. He's just as fast, he can box with them.
Porter also points out that while Morrell's win over Ravo Katic was impressive, it didn't present the same kind of pressure that Benavidez will bring. Caddick is clearly a bigger puncher than Benavidez in terms of single shots, but he wasn't trying to overwhelm Morrell with volume the way the Mexican monster will, Porter notes. This highlights a key difference in their fighting styles. Benavidez will bring relentless pressure, whereas Morrell has yet to face an opponent with that kind of aggression.
Scared.
Despite these insights, Porter remains cautious about predicting a knockout. He acknowledges that Benavidez has shown some vulnerability in previous fights, particularly against the more experienced Alexander Gvozdyk. Benavidez ran out of gas after 8 rounds and got hurt like Gvozdyk in the 12th, Porter points out, suggesting that Benavidez may not have the stamina to outlast Morrell, who has a more youthful and energetic style. With Benavidez, he can bang with him, he's just as fast, and he can box with Morrell, Porter explains, highlighting the unpredictability of the fight.